This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Many of you have noticed that there has been a lot of distraction going on right now within the YouTube community pertaining to Meghan and Harry. What I don't like about this is the disrespect to the community. And I know that there's some right now who don't feel that it's a community, and I can understand why. But the community is not the Megxit creators. The community are the viewers and subscribers to all of the channels that talk about Meghan and Harry. And when you say that this is not a community, in my opinion, disrespects each and every one of you who not only come to watch, support, and also share our work, because we know that a majority of you support other creators who talk about the same subject. It's also disrespecting the relationship the content creators have with the very same subscribers that are also subscribing to other channels. What I think is short-sighted, as well as now rubbing me the wrong way, are seeing certain content creators putting you guys, the viewers, in a position to have to choose one or the other. And what's seriously disappointing and dirty about all of this is that the people who cause this know what they're doing. Now, this is just my opinion, but I don't think it's a coincidence that since we've been going back and revisiting the early days, looking closer at not only Photoshop photos as well as AI-generated videos, that all of a sudden this noise and distraction began. I think many of you know that the source of all of this drama came from one person, probably because now this is being looked at closer. Now, I kindly ask for everybody to cut this shit out and bring our focus back to what we came here to do, which is get to the truth and seek justice and accountability for the damage these lies and manipulations have caused over the last 6 years. Those that don't understand the Megxit community, we're not here to experience why we call ourselves the Megxit community. So they were never a part of the community in the first place. So who gives a shit? Let's bring ourselves back to earth and keep to the forefront what was exposed prior to all this distraction, which were these Photoshop photos of Meghan's childhood and the home videos that have been clearly digitally manipulated with AI technology. And because I think this is an important discovery that needs more visibility, I'm going to go ahead and put back the segment of the video that I did 12 days ago exposing the home video of Meghan and her so-called best friend Nanaki in Europe. In this video, I showed everybody how this was digitally altered to make it look like it was Meghan, but in reality, it was not her. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we need more people asking questions, more people raising and seeing that we were deceived from the very beginning, and we should know and get an answer as to why. What is this all for? You might be saying to yourself, well, why does it matter now? Well, of course it matters, because everything since the inception of this woman coming onto the scene has been built on lies. So anything coming out about these two most likely will be more lies. I wouldn't care so much if this woman wasn't saturating the media 24/7, not only with her bullshit, but when Meghan is not making headlines, then her family is making headlines, and in a coordinated fashion. Of course, I'm going to be asking questions, and of course, I'm going to be voicing my opinion on seeing what does not seem legit, in my humble opinion. Before I go ahead and replay this video, I want everybody to remember that this little girl, so-called Meghan, had this big mole on the side of her left cheek that you could see from space. Pay attention to that mole as we go through this video. I mean, this, I think, is the last sighting of this mole.
She'd always had an interest in the royal family.
The chances of meeting the Queen are pretty slim.
Oh, the irony. That's a 15-year-old Meghan Markle on a bus tour in London in 1996.
And there is Meghan's other mole. Propagandist media outlet Entertainment Tonight is making sure that you see this mole and you know that it is this girl named Meghan. Let's begin showing you this magic show. So in the opening, you quickly see Meghan, but when you slow it down, does this look like Meghan to you? Why does this 15-year-old have such dark circles and bags under her eyes as if she just got out of the club and it's 6 a.m. in the morning? Some of you might be saying, well, maybe she's jet lagged and just tired. Okay, I'll give the benefit of the doubt there. But let's look at the next clip.
Checking out the sights in Brussels.
This is the oddest thing I've ever seen.
And leaving her mark in Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that says star to be. Kinda prophetic, right?
When you slow this down and you lighten it up, you start to see something pretty magical happening to Megan's other mole. Watch it again and I'll zoom in for you. Do you see what's happening to that mole and her face? It's appearing, then disappearing, and then out of sight. Also, even wilder, pay attention to her teeth. There's no gap, then all of a sudden there's a gap. Yes, folks, this is another Magazi. Just like the graduation speech. I'm telling you, all of this is just so wild. Okay, now that you know what's going on, I'm going to slow this part down so you can see that this is not Megan, but her face morphs into Megan. I hope you notice that the girl that we're calling Megan, that's not her teeth. But now watch, Megan's other mole makes an appearance. Do you see how they digitize this? It looks like Megan has an elf ear. When you look at everything that Megan has done, such as putting stuff out into the media, using AI in her graduation speech, as well as creating this false narrative and facade, it can't just be Megan alone coming up with this stuff to lock down a prince. I think we'd be really stupid to think that it was Megan alone who plotted all of this on her vision board. The extent of the manipulation that I'm seeing looking back is astounding. And of course, back then we're watching this and it says star to be Meg, not realizing that that wasn't the space that that person had been signing.
You can already see her early ambassador skills, charming the locals while learning to speak French.
Bien sûr.
Bien sûr, bien sûr.
Now, I've said this a few times in the past, but I do think Megan does have her eye on ambassadorship. Let's watch now how Entertainment Tonight lied to the world about who this woman is. The first thing you should notice is the height of this woman. First thing you should notice here is that that's not Megan's face. The next thing you should notice here is that Megan's other mole went missing. As you can see right there, that's not Megan. Also, notice the teeth. The gap is completely gone. As for Nanaki, I think they deep-faked her face as well.
Mex got her first taste of the UK while traveling through Europe with her best friend's family.
Now, of course, Entertainment Tonight wants us to think that those are Nanaki's parents, but they're not. As you can see, Megan's other mole is back, but a few seconds prior, it was a completely different person. The crazy thing about all of this is that the world fell for all of it. This entire Europe trip is all a lie. I'm willing to bet that Nanaki got paid handsomely to go along with this scam. I think it's important that we bring Nanaki back up because, again, she came in the very beginning, dumped all her information, and then bounced out, never to be heard from again. And how convenient and interesting that the people that she follows on Twitter, the very few people that she follows, just so happen to be a content creator that was a part of a lot of this chaos and division over the last several days. I just thought to make that point because there are not that many people that Nanaki's following, and interesting that one of them has a close relationship with Jessica Moroni. So we'll just leave it there. Anyhow, I would be careful on who you trust, and that's all I have to say. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.